it was harder than I expected it to be just because it is so close to me. I think that I kind of like went into it being like, oh, whatever, like to me, it's fine. But I think that there's an interesting challenge as an actor when you're playing a role for so long.
So we're picking up this season right where we left off. We've got a mysterious text. Clearly things are not going back to pre-murder club normalness. Can you each tell me a little bit about how your character is going to handle what's coming next and how that's going to mesh with the rest of the murder club?
Janae's the newest member of this group of five. I don't think they totally know where they fit in the dynamic. I think Janae and Bronwyn specifically have a very similar way of dealing with things. They both like to think that they're right. They're both very smart. They're both very calculated. So certainly at the beginning of this season, we're going to see them butting heads and them have differing ideas of how to handle this.
Yeah. What about you, Annalisa? I know, Addie's clearly dealing with a lot of complicated feelings this season.
Yeah. She definitely, I mean, she's jumping into this season with so much guilt and so much stress from feeling like she caused this entire situation to herself, but also to this new group of friends. And so, she's about to go, we're about to see her go on such a roller coaster of emotion as she tries to suppress it and then ultimately can't. And it's going to be I'm excited for people to see how she kind of deals her way and digs her way out of what she's created for herself.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chib, what about Cooper? How is he going to handle all of what's to come?
Yeah, I think Cooper feels like the walls are closing in around him. So I think there'll be a lot of stress there. And as he navigates his career and navigates the fact that he was there when what happened to Jake happened. So I think there's a lot of pressure there. And I think there's almost this want to get away and distance himself from Murder Club because nothing seems to go right when they're all together.
That is very true. Now, there are still a lot of questions about the night that Jake was killed. Are we going to get more of what happened, or is that just going to be kind of something that fans are left to wonder more about?
I think it's fair to say that questions will be answered about that night.
Questions will be answered. Truths will be revealed.
Yes.
And it seems like truths are going to be revealed by kind of a new player who is entering the game, who is sending the text, and that's going to be the big mystery. Can you each tell me a little bit about what is to come this season? Can you tease it for people who are going to tune in?
Yeah, definitely new players have entered or maybe always been in Bayview and we just didn't know. And I think a lot of secrets from season one are answered, but then also a lot more secrets are presented.
I love it. It's delightfully vague. It's enough to get us excited for what's to come. And it's a super fun season. We get a lot more from each of your characters. And Jess, can you tell me a little bit about the journey that Janae is coming on this season? I know that Jave shippers are all out in full force.
Yeah, I think, Janae's new to this group and almost new to having friends other than Simon. So I think that Janae's trying to figure out where they fit in the group and in their own life. I think Janae goes on a bit of a journey in terms of family this season and in terms of gender. And then, of course, Janae and Maeve there's as much drama as ever.
Right. Keeping the shippers fed. And how was that for you, portraying a character who is really going on such a journey of self-discovery?
It was really fun, I will also say, like, it was harder than I expected it to be just because it is so close to me. I think that I kind of like went into it being like, oh, whatever, like, to me, it's fine. But I think that there's an interesting challenge as an actor when you're playing a role for so long that, it does start to feel, at least for me, quite like personally revealing. So I think it was interesting to navigate that this season, but I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that everyone who's like queer and questioning gender gets to watch this season and see how Janae navigates it. And Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And, as we go into this second season, like you said, everyone's kind of been in their characters for a period of time now. How was it for each of you reinvigorating your characters for a second season, returning to them?
Yeah, honestly, it was pretty exciting because I think at least the first half of this season, you'll see Addie is kind of just like a bundle of emotions. I guess she was a little bit last season, but this season, I think even more, she's trying to suppress so many things. And so it was quite fun because it felt like I was I was diving back into a character that I knew, but because she was dealing with so much newfound stress and trauma, honestly, physically, emotionally, it felt kind of like a new character, which was a fun new challenge.
Yeah, I enjoyed the familiarity of getting to, bring Cooper back to life. But it was also interesting how, because the dynamics around him have changed a little bit, and the circumstances have changed with him now being out and some things in his personal life, you get to discover new pockets. And I think there's a little bit more of like knowing oneself as a character, which is fun to play around with.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all talking with me. Second season, super fun. I can't wait for everyone to see it.